Well, Srila Prabhupada was, to our apparent limited vision, his health was deteriorating, and he requested that I come to India, to Vrindavan, to see him. So I just got married, and my wife was pregnant with my first son. So I couldn't leave, and we were living in a very remote part of Hawaii. So I couldn't leave at that particular moment. But I promised that as soon as my wife had her baby, then I would come. So time passed after my son arrived, and Shudikirti came over to Maui from Oahu, and we flew off to India together. So at that time I wasn't living at a temple, so I let my hair grow a little bit longer than I should have. And when we arrived in Delhi, I thought, well, I can't go to see Srila Prabhupada like that, so we shaved up. And I had this big long sika. And Srila Prabhupada, when I walked in the room, it was a very sober mood, dark, and everything was subdued, and people were kind of morose, not making too much sound and everything. So I walked into Srila Prabhupada's room, and they said, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada Madhavisa has arrived." So Prabhupada sat up in his bed, and I paid my obeisances, and Prabhupada, first thing he said, "Whoa, look at Madhavisa. He's maintaining such a nice sika." And he chuckled like that, knowing that I hadn't maintained such a nice sika. I just had shaved up in Delhi train station. And the second thing he said, "Where is your wife?" See, I had left Srila Prabhupada, I was a sannyasi, and then I had left and got married and everything like that. So that's not particularly the way you should do it. But Srila Prabhupada, he just shrugged that off. It was like immaterial to him. He wanted to know where my wife was. Not that, why have you got married? Why have you done this? He wanted to know, where is she? And he was fully aware that I was married and I had a child and everything like that, and he wanted to see her. And I said, "Well, Srila Prabhupada, she just had her first baby and she really doesn't want to travel." And she said, "That's right, she shouldn't travel. But she is feeling okay?" And I said, "Yes, she's feeling good." And you had a son?" And I said, "Yes, Prabhupada, I had a son." And I said, and I named him Abhay Charan. "Is that all right?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "That is okay. You've named him after your spiritual master." And then he went on to explain the famous purport that's in the Srimad Bhagavatam about the elephant and the crocodile. That the elephant is very mighty and very strong, but when he enters into the water, he becomes victimized by the crocodile because he's not in his proper atmosphere. If he's on the dry land, he can annihilate, he can crush the crocodile. But because he's in the water, he's at the mercy of the crocodile. So he said, similarly, we may be situated in the wrong atmosphere for executing Krishna consciousness. We must put ourselves in the right atmosphere, and then we can execute our Krishna consciousness and with all strength and vigor. So he said, it doesn't make any difference. You are a sannyasi, now you're a householder. That doesn't make any difference. The proper thing is just to go on with your Krishna consciousness, execute it. If you can't execute it, if you're becoming weak by artificially embracing a sannyas order, and you must take another order to become strong again, that is all right. But the most important thing is don't leave the association of the devotees and continue on with your Krishna consciousness. And he made me feel so good, and it was very enlivening and personal to be with Srila Prabhupada in those last days.